Hello there, Hollywood Times viewers. Today we're joined by Sirius's XM Willie Nelson. Sorry, Willie's Roadhouse DJ, singer, songwriter, voiceover artist, actor, and music producer. Woo! Dallas Wayne. Hi, Dallas. How you doing?
Hi, Judy. How you doing today? Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you. And as you see,
Yeah, boy, you hit the jackpot back there, it looks like.
how about for you? What's going on for Valentine's Day with you?
Well, my timing is perfect as usual. My wife is in Bristol, Tennessee on Valentine's Day, and I'm in Nashville. But we've been together so long that really doesn't matter. But I did celebrate early. Uh, there's a bakery there in Bristol that does these wonderful croissants, chocolate croissants that my wife loves those things. And when we go to Paris, that's one of the first things she does every morning. She wakes me up to go to breakfast to get a croissant, down the street at the local bakery. So I had them make her some croissants, picked up some flowers, and I noticed that the local hardware store had a wheelbarrow on sale, one of their loss leaders that they would sell, And usually on their loss leaders, they'll be gone by 10 o'clock in the morning, so you got to hit it fast. So I came home with a wheelbarrow and croissants and flowers, which
Darn, what a lucky woman she is.
nothing says love like a wheelbarrow, no.
Was it at least red?
No, it's a fancy one. It's black and orange.
Wow.
It's a two-tone wheelbarrow. It's a nice one.
Help me darn.
I think you
We'll
can
have,
find it in the dark, probably.
we'll have to get a picture of that one. That sounds amazing. She's a lucky woman. Oh, well, it's so nice to see you in somewhat person. I love hearing you on Willie's Roadhouse. It's something that my late father, who I just lost a couple of months ago at 93, we just loved listening to you. He's just in heaven right now. Proud that I'm able to interview you.
I'll tell him the signal's really good up there on the satellite.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about your new single.
But the new single is called I Hit the Road and the Road Hit Back. It'll be out on Audium Nashville coming out this week, and the album will be released on the 22nd of April.
Wow, Coldwater, Tennessee. Is there such a place called Coldwater?
Yes, there is a Coldwater, Tennessee. After I wrote the song, I'd sung it on a show. This has been several years ago. I sang it on a show, and a lady emailed me after that, said, I'm actually from Coldwater, Tennessee. And I think that at the biggest population ever in Coldwater was about 135, and it's been swallowed up by neighboring towns at this point. It really doesn't hardly exist anymore. I was going to try to find it last time I was over in this neck of the woods, and I just gave up.
So where is it as opposed to Nashville?
Right down on the Georgia line.
Georgia line. Okay.
Yes, between
Oh,
Georgia and
wow.
Alabama, right within a few miles of the state line.
What was your inspiration for that song?
Well, the song had already kind of taken its form, but I was looking for a locality. I always was enamored by Bill Anderson's Saginaw, Michigan. It made you feel like you were actually, it was a little more real because it included Saginaw, Michigan. So I was looking for a town name and found that one, and the syllables kind of matched up in the alliteration on the writing part. So, Coldwater, Tennessee it was.
And what about I Hit the Road? That's a great song, by the way. I love that
Oh,
song.
thank you. A lot of fun writing that. I wrote that with Robbie Folks, a good friend of mine, co-writing partner of mine for years. And Robbie and I wrote it about some dumb kid going out on the road in the music business. And I think it was more autobiographical than we'd like to admit.
So what instruments do you play?
I'll put it this way, what instruments I own. I don't consider myself a guitar player, I consider myself a guitar owner. I've got some wonderful magical instruments that I don't deserve to have. It's like giving a monkey a pistol when I get a really good guitar in my hands. But I play guitar, I play upright bass as my primary instrument as far as what got me in the music business in the first place was playing upright bass. I play a little piano and a little mandolin, just enough to annoy people.
So how old were you when you started these instruments?
I started playing guitar when I was about 12 or 13 years old, seriously. My parents had given me a guitar earlier on, but it was really too big for me, like when I was 6 or 7. But I still plunked around on a little bit when they figured out that I was actually showing some aptitude or desire to play. Got a little bit better instrument and just went from there. I was about 13, I guess, when I started taking it kind of seriously. I still consider it a learning process every time I pick one up.
So how old were you when you wrote your first song?
About the same age, about 13. Yeah. My parents, we didn't take very many vacations when I was a kid. My father would always, he was an educator, and so he would spend the summers going back to school and getting his master's degree, then he got his doctorate. And so almost every summer he was gone. So one summer he wasn't gone, and we decided to take a vacation, and we did it up right. We went from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, out to the Outer Banks, then back through Nashville, saw the Grand Ole Opry for the very first time, and then we took off for New Orleans. And the 4 or 5 days that we were in New Orleans was constantly my father grabbing me by the sleeve and pulling me away from open doors on Bourbon Street. He thought it might be a little too much for a 13-year-old kid to handle. But there's a place called Jackson Square there in the French Quarter that is still one of my favorite places to go some 50 years later. And it's just it was the first song was about Jackson Square.
Oh my God, how awesome.
It wasn't very good.
Come on.
It was heartfelt as much as a child could do.
Well, look at the career it's led you to, huh?
Yeah, it's been a long, strange journey, as they say.
Wow. And I also read congratulations for the induction into the Disc Jockey Hall of Fame.
Oh, it's an honor. It hit me really hard when I got there and they put the plaque up on the wall. I'm looking at all my heroes that are already up there, and it was it'd take your breath away when you think about it, because radio was not a career that I ever thought I would be doing full time. When I first started out, I still wanted to be a songwriter and a singer, and the radio thing I backed into, and it's a big chunk of my life right now, because I love working on SiriusXM every day.
Yeah, how is it working on Willie's Roadhouse?
It's wonderful because since I left Austin, Texas about 1.5 years ago, and the way technology is today, I have a studio in my home, and I walk down the hall to go to work. I have no commute time whatsoever, and I'll be walking down the hall, and my wife will say, "Watch out for the traffic. Be careful on the way to work." I'm lucky if I have pants on. It's like I'm usually in my pajamas or a pair of sweatpants or something like that. But it's fun to go in there and visit with people every day.
Oh, it must be awesome working with Willie too. He's one of my heroes.
He's everybody's hero, and rightly so. His artistic accomplishments have been public knowledge, but nobody realizes what a great philanthropist he is, and how many great causes he supports and actively supports and gets involved in. It's a lot of work, and I'm not just talking about Farm Aid, even though that's a huge one, but there's so many of that kind of stuff, and I kind of wish people would know more about that. But a lot of the stuff he does is anonymous, doesn't want anybody to know, and it's wonderful to see.
You can tell he's got a heart like that. I've been lucky enough to meet him a couple of times as a fan, but my goal in life my dream is to be able to interview him. So I'm gonna keep plugging.
Oh, he's a great interview. He's fun. He's fun to interview, and he's always make him tell a joke.
Oh, for sure.
He's got 1,000 of them. And one of the things he said before the other day that cracked me up is he said he didn't know for sure if he told me this joke already before. He said, "If I've told you this joke before, don't stop me, because I want to hear it again."
And that's a great joke.
Yeah, in and of itself, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's talk a little bit about the new upcoming album. How many songs do you have on there?
There's 11 on here, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go back and count them up, but I think there's 11 songs on here. We recorded a couple extra just in case we needed them, but the way the album came out and the way it was put together, I think these are a good representation of me as a songwriter and hopefully as a singer too.
How many of them are written by you?
All of them.
All of
these
them.
are, yeah, or co-written, one
Right,
of the
right.
two.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of stuff. We mentioned Robbie Folks earlier. There's 2 or 3 that I've co-written with Robbie on there. Some I've written by myself. And then there's a new song on there that I just wrote right before we were doing the record with Buddy Cannon, who produced the album, and Bill Anderson, Country Music Hall of Famer. And it was an honor writing with those 2 guys. Bill's written hit songs in 6 decades. And,
what an honor.
And he's not slowing down at all. He still has that fire in his belly and writes almost every day.
Does he? Wow, I'll have to interview him.
He's wonderful. And Buddy's a great guy too.
Wow, that must be something. Now, do you guys get together in the studio, your home? What does it take to write these songs?
Well, COVID-19 changed a lot of things. We wrote a lot of that song by text.
No way.
Yeah, I had the shell of the song out, and it wasn't. It was done technically, but it wasn't done the way I looked at it. And so I said, "Would you guys mind taking a look at this thing and see if you can save it?" And they certainly did. They did a great job on the rewrite, and that's what happens when you have all these Hall of Fame songwriters coming in and jumping in on your stuff. They know what they're doing, and it was a fun experience. And we just kept bouncing stuff back and forth, and a lot of interviews these days, a lot of songwriting, a lot of performances are being done through Zoom and things like that nowadays. I think it might be a new normal that I hope sticks around after the pandemic's long gone.
Yeah, it's been different because we got to go see everybody in person, so we have the Zoom, but it's great because it was mostly phone calls, so it's really nice to see your face, and be able to talk to you. So I hope
I've got
it's
a
here
face
to
for
stay.
radio now.
No, you don't. You belong on the camera. Oh my goodness. So how are they able to get the new single and the upcoming album?
Single will be released to radio this week. The album comes out on April 22nd, once again on Audium Nashville. You'll be able to pick it up through all your normal outlets on where you get your music these days and how you get it delivered to you, whether it be through Amazon or physical copies or whatever. We'll have it.
Yes. Do you have, we always ask, do you have a favorite song, or was there a song that made you cry that you couldn't even finish? Talk about some of the songs.
There's a song on the record on this new album called I'm Your Biggest Fan. And it's a song about a stalker. I like writing killing songs. Coldwater, Tennessee is a killing song. So's Biggest Fan. I love writing that kind of stuff. I think it's healthy psychologically to get it out of your system so you don't go berserk in a shopping mall. But when I was writing that song, I was giggling through the whole thing. Because it's like, oh, this is creepy. Oh, this is so creepy. This is fun. This is creepy. No, I should do this. This is great. I love this. And I sent this song to Stephen King, the writer, and he wrote me back a great letter and said, "Can I play this on my radio show?" I said, "Sure." It was an earlier version of the song that's on the record. And I said, "Sure." And so I can say with great pride that it's Stephen King's favorite song of mine that he's ever heard. It may be the only song of mine that he's ever heard, but he liked the song and still plays it on his radio show.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You passed the Stephen King creepy test on it, which I think was a milestone of some sort.
For sure. One of my favorite authors. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's a great story. I love those kind of stories. So when can our viewers able to hear you on Willie's Roadhouse?
I'm on Monday through Friday from noon to 6 Eastern time. And again, on Sundays, I do 2 hours on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern till noon. And then Outlaw Country, my other channel that I work on, I'm on there Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. Eastern time till noon. So it's 8 hours of radio most every day.
That's amazing. You must love it.
Oh, I do. I do. And like I said, I work from my house, so I mean,
I
it's not that hard. I can go downstairs and get a sandwich. It's wonderful. It's a great thing.
know. Without your pants.
No, I have to put pants on in the house. That's the rules. There are certain things I'm not allowed to do in the new house.
That's a good wife.
Yeah. Oh, well, she's got a wheelbarrow. What the heck?
I know. I can't wait to see a picture of the wheelbarrow. That's the greatest Valentine's gift ever.
Well, after 34 years of being together, we've done just about everything you could do as a couple together, and we're each other's best friends. So,
Aw.
and I got that from my parents. One year, my dad gave my mother snow tires, and she gave him a cookware set. So that's how it works.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Got any parting words for us, Dallas?
Do what you love. Love what you do. Uh, every day is just a blessing, and it may be a symptom of getting older, but I have learned to really appreciate little things in my world right now, and I think everybody should do that, especially during all the stuff we're up against right now with the pandemic and everything that's going on in the world. Just enjoy yourselves and be good to each other. I
Oh,
close my show every day with this. I say, be safe and be good to each other. For God's sakes, it's truly the right thing to do. And I mean it. We have to start treating each other better in this world.
and it's so easy to do that, people. It really is that easy.
Kindness can become a habit after a while. You get used to it. It's and it don't cost nothing. That's the
Just like
best
they
part of the whole
say,
thing.
you want to be treated just like you should treat those just like you want to be treated. It's all
Exactly.
about love and caring. It's that simple.
And we can take it. We can take this world getting smaller. We can take that to our advantage and get to know each other better from different political spectrums, from different religious respect. You know, through it all, just interactions as people. We have the opportunity to reach out and get to know each other better, and we should.
And I think actually where it should start is we should get to know, if you don't already know your neighbor, you should know your neighbor. So start by getting to know your neighbors because you live next to them. And it's surprising how many people don't even know their neighbors. To me, that's where you start.
But see, that's the reason I'm not allowed to not wear pants in the house is because we do have neighbors, and we have lots of windows.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, and we look forward to getting that new album. All your other ones are amazing. You're a great singer
Oh,
and a
thank you
great
so
DJ.
much.
I love hearing you.
Thank you.
I listen to you on Sundays.
Oh, I love
You're
doing
my
that show
Sunday
right
hero.
for Jeannie Seeley. I love working. I've opened a lot of shows over the years for Jeannie Seeley. I just tell everybody now I'm still her opening act because I come on right before she does with her show, Sundays with Seeley.
I had the honor to interview her. It was on the phone, but it was amazing. And my dad just loved her. She actually sang "Happy Birthday" to my dad, and I recorded it and I played it for him.
Oh,
And
nice.
he started to cry, and I go, "Dad," he goes, "I never in my life dreamed that a country music, Grand Ole Opry star like that would sing to me." And he just told everybody. He was so excited. So I thank her for that.
She's got a mighty big heart. She's a good gal.
She does. Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Judy, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.